Hi, I'm Tony Andrews, the developer of the SpeedCoach Mobile application. In this video, we'll look at some of the accessories that you can use to make the most of the application. We'll start off looking at GPS adapters that you can use with an iPod Touch. Then we'll talk about 3 different options for getting heart rate information. And then finally, we'll look at several different waterproof cases and also talk about different options for mounting those in your boat. So to start with, let's look at GPS accessories for the iPod Touch. Now, of course, the iPod Touch doesn't come with a built-in GPS receiver. So to get full speed and distance information from SpeedCoach Mobile on an iPod Touch, you'll need to use some kind of an external GPS receiver accessory. Now, there are 2 good options here. The first is from Dual. This is a combination GPS receiver and an external battery. And you can see it looks a little bit like a case. It allows us to just slide in the iPod Touch here. And then we've got both some extended battery life with this external battery and a full GPS receiver. Now, there's nothing special that you need to do to use any of your GPS-enabled applications with an accessory like this. Any application will work just fine with either of these accessories, just as though it were running on an iPhone. So this is one good option. You can see you'll need a little bit more room. It's a little bit thicker here with the battery and a little bit longer at the bottom. So you'll need a little bit more room in your waterproof case to use this, but the added battery life can be an advantage there. Now, the other option that we have with the iPod Touch is from bad-elf.com, and this simply plugs into the accessory port at the bottom of the phone. So you can see it doesn't add any thickness, but it does add some length to the bottom here. Now, the Dual accessory sells on Amazon for $83. The Bad Elf is available for $99. So those are both good options with the iPod Touch. Now, the other way to go, if you don't already happen to have an iPod Touch but you want to use the application, is to use an iPhone without cellular service. So if you happen to have a phone that you already like for your regular daily phone usage, but you'd like to use SpeedCoach Mobile, you can always just pick up a used phone on eBay. You can get these fairly cheaply there. And that makes a great solution as well. Remember that it's not necessary at all to have cellular service. The GPS receiver in your iPhone will work just fine without any cell service at all. And then you can always use Wi-Fi to export your workout data. So next, let's talk about heart rate monitors. There are 3 options here. One that's been supported in the application for quite a while comes from WahooFitness.com. They make an accessory that plugs into the accessory port on your iPhone, and this is an ANT Plus receiver, and ANT Plus is a communication standard for low power devices like heart rate chest straps. Wahoo also sells a number of accessories for picking up speed, cadence, information, power from bicycles as well. So if you're a cycler, that can be an interesting thing to look at. This is available through WahooFitness.com. They sell the ANT Plus receiver as well as compatible chest straps. But if you already happen to have an ANT Plus chest strap already, you can just buy the receiver accessory, and it'll be compatible with any ANT Plus chest strap. Now, the second option, and this will be coming, support for this will be coming in the next version of SpeedCoach Mobile 2.5, and that should be released in February of 2012. This is from 60beat.com. This works a little bit differently. This works with any polar chest strap. Those are quite common. It's also compatible with several other of the older analog style chest straps. Now, this is a little bit different in that it plugs into the headphone jack of your iPhone or iPod Touch, and it picks up the heart rate information from this chest strap, and then it transmits it to the iPhone through the microphone port. So the application SpeedCoach Mobile will be supporting this very soon, and this is great if you already have a polar chest strap and want to be able to use that. Now the last option is another product from Wahoo Fitness. This one, they call it the Blue HR. It uses a new Bluetooth low power standard, and you'll see it. You'll see an acronym for this, BTLE. That's Bluetooth Low Energy. That's a new Bluetooth standard that's supported only in the iPhone 4S. But the great thing about this is that you don't need any external accessory plugged into your phone. So if you have an iPhone 4S and haven't already invested in another chest strap already, this might be a great option. And this is also supported in SpeedCoach Mobile version 2.5. So now let's look at cases and mounting options. Before we look at the cases, let's talk about a couple of ways that you might mount any of these cases in your boat. The first is something called Dual Lock from 3M, and this has a sticky backing, and then on the other side it's a Velcro-like surface. It's plastic interlocking teeth. And so with one side mounted against your boat, the other side to the back of one of these cases, that can be a great way to get a nice rigid mounting inside your boat. The other option that works with many of these cases is one of these armbands. This can often be attached inside your boat by wrapping this around a wing rigger or maybe a foot stretcher or some other structure in the boat. So those are a couple of good mounting options. Now switching over to the cases, the first case is available through Nielsen Kellerman at nkhome.com. This case allows you to slip the phone right inside here, close this down, and you get a nice waterproof seal. One of the nice features of this case is that it's actually buoyant. It's got these water-filled pockets built into the case, so that can be a nice feature. The other nice thing about this case and a couple of the others is that if you already have a case on your phone and it doesn't add too much height or width to the phone, then you can usually slip that right inside this case. So that can be very handy. Now, one of the things about the NK case is that it doesn't really have enough room at the end here to fit either of those, the Wahoo heart rate adapter or the 60-beat heart rate receiver. So if you're interested in using either of those accessories, this case probably won't work for you. Now, NK actually gets their cases through a company called Overboard. The Overboard cases, if you order directly from them, seem to be a little bit longer. The design has varied a bit over the last 3 years, so it seems like every time I order one of these they look a little bit different, so I can't make any guarantees. But my experience recently has been that the Overboard cases have a little more room, and they actually have enough more room that you can fit that Wahoo fitness accessory into the case along with the phone. But other than that, it's very similar to the NK case. Now, another soft case option is this one from Aquapack. There are several other variations on this that are available through REI and other stores. But the nice thing about this case is that it's got a lot of extra length. So if you've got accessories on the top or the bottom of the phone, you've got a lot of room here to work with. There are other variants that are very similar to this that have more width or length. And these tend to be pretty inexpensive cases, so that can be nice as well. And you can see on this one, I've just put some dual lock on the back for mounting in my boat. So those three were all soft cases. We have a couple of hard cases that I'll show you. The first one is from Wahoo Fitness. This case actually includes the Wahoo heart rate receiver built right into it, the Ant Plus receiver. You can see the case allows you to plug the phone in right there. I'll plug this in. The phone just slides in place, and then there's a cover that clips over this, and then when that's in place, you've got a good watertight seal, and you can use the phone through the front cover there very well. This case is also great for cycling. There are several mounting options that you can use with your bike. On this case, though, I've just put the dual lock here on the back, and I just affix that directly into my boat. So that case is great if you're using the Wahoo adapter. They also have a variation of this hard case that doesn't include the Ant Plus receiver and is quite a bit cheaper. So look at the WahooFitness.com site for all of the options with that case. Now another case that's newer that I just bought recently is from LifeProof.com. The interesting thing about this case is that it's designed for everyday use. So you can see that it's very thin. It adds very little in the way of width or height to the phone. You can imagine slipping that easily into your pocket. It gives you access to all of the buttons, the volume controls, the on-off switch, and even the headphone jack. And they have an option for a waterproof extender for the headphone jack. Now for charging, you can open up the bottom of the case and get access to the accessory port there. So you can do all of this without taking the phone out of the case. Now for mounting this case, you've got a couple of ways to go. You wouldn't really want to put the Loctite directly on the back of this if this is your everyday case. But they do have a belt clip accessory that you can use. So when you slip this into the belt clip, it fits nice and snug there. It's got a lock there, so when that's locked, it really can't just pop out of this. You can see the belt clip there. So a couple of things you could do with this. You could either put the Loctite directly on the back of the belt clip, or you could take one of those armbands and just slip it through here and use the armband with the belt clip. So that's another good option. So anyway, five cases we looked at. Lots of different options depending on cost and feature, but many different ways to go there and still get a good waterproof protection for your phone. So we looked at GPS accessories for use with the iPod Touch. We talked about heart rate monitoring options, and there are 3 now in version 2.5 of the application. And then finally we looked at mounting options. Remember, when you mount any of these cases in your boat, that you'll get the best results if you mount the case as snugly as possible to whatever you're attaching it to in the boat. If the case is free to sway or shake as you row or paddle, you'll still get reliable stroke rates most likely, but if you're looking at check and bounce information, that will tend to be less reliable under those conditions. And as always, if you have any other questions or feedback on the application, feel free to send me email directly at info@performancephones.com. Thank you very much.